monsters lurking at the gate. Heroes rise in the night, doctors wielding magic might. Doctors and dragons in the fray, healing wounds, saving the day. Epic quest, dangerous call, stand as one, we won't fall.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Doctors and Dragons, an actual play D&D podcast featuring a cast of real-life doctors. My name is CJ. I am your DM. We are entering into the epic climax of the Seagrow Cave arc. We have triggered a series of fume drakes leaping out of the vents towards Kurgan. Our heroes have battled through, helping the myconids of the cave to uncover what is causing these mysterious fumes that have fallen everyone ill in the cave. Tonight, we will be playing the end of the Seagrow Cave arc. We are obviously sending our best wishes to everyone in Queensland and northern New South Wales affected by the floods. And due to that, we have no Emma tonight, which is absolutely fine because she's doing important work. And with that, we're going to kick off here in mid-fight. I need everyone to roll initiative. Okay, so we have Justin coming in at 13, a gentleman's 13. We have Margaret, 17, kicking off strong.
Sorry, the 13 was for Aisling of the Mudflap.
Oh, my apologies.
Mud.
Aisling coming in at 13. You have rolled 15, which is even better. Excellent. And Kurgan, 22, so absolutely smashing it. And Lenora, a 7, which is fine. Cleric comes up last. That's what you want. Ooh, Lenora's way back. She's making her way. Lenora. So we got Volgrim, Lenora, Kurgan, Calliope. 8. Yep, no worries. Yeah. I will roll for Treo. I'm going to put Mr. Whiskers in there. Mr. Whiskers has actually been following you very stealthily. And he's going to be acting a bit erratically.
Hopefully not getting into too much trouble.
I think the last time we saw him, he was hiding in my cape's cowl.
So, all right, so we've got initiative set up. And we'll go from there. So, as initiative kicks off, we see a fume drake leaping out of the vapors towards Kurgan. It's going to get a surprise attack. Then we're going to go into formal initiative. We see everyone is scattered back through the cave. Kurgan has snuck in, and the disadvantage of that is that everyone is further back and will need to come up. Lenora is way back, talking to the myconids. What you see in that cave before we attack, we see to the north, purple crystals, fumes coming from purple crystals. We see to the west, some sort of orange, almost like an egg, orange crystal almost in the shape of an egg. And to the south, we see a body next to a series of odd scrawlings and runic sigils on the cave wall. The fume drake is going to attack you, Kurgan. It has leaped out and is going to use a simple attack. So it's going to make a... just going to make a bite. Yep. Does a 12 hit you? I don't think it does.
Does not.
Okay, Fume Drake swipes, tries to bite at you and misses, and we kick into formal initiative, so you get a chance to strike back because you're straight up.
I think I'm going to call out, people in plate armor, help! And then I'm going to disengage as my action, and then move directly away from this creature and try and get past the big gathering of people. That's what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... ish. It should be somewhere about there. And that will do for now. As my fragile rogue tries to escape.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. I can't see your token moving, which I think is just a connection issue. Do you want us to move you back all the way through the cave?
Yeah, but as far back as I can.
Okay, no worries.
I did move it, but I guess, yeah, connection problems.
That's right. Someone has to, do the hard work down in Byron, and that's absolutely important. So, we've moved you back. That leads us to Bugrit. You're up.
Okay, I think being sort of a tankified type dwarf, I would like to move sort of closer towards combat zone.
Yeah,
got
go
a
for it.
movement of 30 feet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So that would bring me to there. And I'm not going to use an attack at the moment, so I'll just sort of hold for the time being.
Okay, stoically standing your ground, very dwarvish of you. We go to Vorgrim.
Vorgrim can see that there's someone else standing in the direct line of charge. This is good. He's going to delay action till the enemy crash against our wall of dwarf and then take advantage of it.
Okay. Do you want to, because there's sort of a bottleneck here, do you want to move your character into one of the squares just so we sort of mimic the geography of a cave system, if you will? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Good stuff. So everyone's sort of, trying to get a sense of what's going on. No one's making a direct attack on the Fume Drake. Ashling's up next. What would you guys like Ashling to do?
Ashling is not heavily armored. She can throw some daggers. She should probably stand somewhere behind the fighters, but a sensible distance behind them, so if a breath attack comes in, she won't get hit. She's also going to... actually, she can probably throw a dagger at the Fume Drake.
Yeah. Make a dagger.
2, 3, 4, 5... Can I get you to roll a d20 plus 4 for me?
Yeah, sure. Uh, 13 plus 4 for 17. So that would... Yeah, that's easily going to hit. How much damage is that?
It's going to be 1 die 4 plus 2.
Okay. Oof.
Ooh, nice.
So 6 damage on the Fume Drake. Oof. So Ashling, who's, stoically been quiet, really understating her presence in the group for a few episodes, just sort of leaps out behind one of you and hucks a dagger, and it arcs through the air and sticks into the dragon's head. And you almost get a sense that, she was training on that undead dragon back at the ship when she hurled that axe while leaping off the ship. And you think maybe a flair for the dramatic in this understated character might be coming. Yeah. You want to do anything else with it?
No, she's in a safe position at the back.
Yep. Anyone who's getting up in there close is welcome to make a perception check too on the surrounding things. As I said, north, purple crystals, west, red to orange coloured sort of egg-like crystal thing, and to the south, the dead body next to a scrawling on the wall. But otherwise, we will move on to Atreyo of Kobold. Atreyo looks around, looks nervous, gets a bit of social anxiety, and sort of hangs back, doesn't really want to make a move yet. He's sort of trying to be gauged by the rest of the group, and he'll just hold. Which brings us to the second Fume Drake, which sort of reveals itself from the mist. So it reveals itself to the north, and it's going to have a look around, deciding what to do. It's seen a dagger come and hit its compadre. It's going to charge up forwards, so it's got 30 feet of movement, and it's going to unleash... It's going to use its breath attack. So, Scalding Breath, 15-foot cone. Yeah, it's going to get just Vorgrim and Bugrit. So it's going to make a cone attack. Can I get a DC 11 dexterity saving throw? So Vorgrim easily dodges. Bugrit stands his ground, perhaps a concern for his compadres, and takes 1d8 damage. Oof. Okay, so Vorgrim... Sorry. Bugrit, you take 8 damage. Vorgrim, you make half as much, so you take 4 damage. So a scalding cloud of vapor sort of erupts from the dragon's maw, and steam stings you and burns your skin. The dragon is then going to just hold there. It's not quite in combat with you guys. The second Fume Drake is then going to run up, and it's going to make a breath attack as well. So, can I get anyone else with that? Probably not. Oh, no, I don't think I can quite get Ashling. Okay, so just another hit on Vorgrim and Bugrit. So, again, just a DC 11 dexterity saving throw. Okay, so Vorgrim again makes it. Bugrit just... this is very tropey. So
Vorgrim's strategy of hiding behind the dwarf is quite a good one.
So the courageous dwarf takes another 7 points of damage, while Vorgrim, you can take 3 points of damage rounded down. Okay. And the Fume Drake is now in combat with Bugrit. Bugrit, are you still standing?
It would be impressive if he is.
Level 1 character? No. Okay. So so steam erupts from the second Fume Drake, which rushes up and just knocks Bugrit flat. And you see his metal pieces are just radiating heat, and you think that can't be good. And we see Vorgrim somehow dances aside in his heavy armor, just dashing between gouts of steam. Still takes some damage, but not quite as much. That is the Fume Drake's turn, and Calliope, you are up.
Do I need to wait till my turn to fall over?
Oh, good question. So you... Hey, can anyone remind me, does he need to make a death saving throw on his turn, or does he make
on
one
his turn?
Drake? Yeah, okay.
On my next turn, yeah.
Yeah, so what I'd be saying would be you're on the ground now, but you haven't made any death saves yet.
Okay.
All right. Hi. So I will need to move up a bit, I think, so I can see these stupid drakes. And just go, oh, that was your breath? Have you ever seen a dentist in your life? And cast vicious mockery on one.
Okay. You want to go westy or southy?
The northernmost one. So number B.
Yep, go for it.
Oh yeah, so it's a wisdom save. Wisdom save for 12.
Okay. So behind the curtain, these guys are not very wise. I don't know. They're just standard wise. That's fine. With a 1, doesn't make it.
So it's 4 psychic damage to him. 4 emotional damage.
Okay. All right. So 4 emotional damage to Fume Break B. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I don't believe there is anything I can, because I don't have any Bardic Inspirations left, so that's me done.
Okay. Lenora. What are we going to do with Lenora?
Well, she'd need to start moving her way up. I think she's going to have to do a double action just to get it anywhere near the fray, so...
Sure. I'll move her up behind Kurgan. Do you want to keep her there or move her forward further?
No, that sounds good. And she's probably just grumbling about what trouble everyone's getting into.
Sort of muttering about destruction and Talos's destructive whims, no doubt. All right, so we move on to... You see that orange crystal-like gem just sort of just shudders and just tiny little ding inside it. And the other thing you see is that Mr. Whiskers, who's sort of been hiding in Kurgan's cow, the cat you rescued from the ship, just sort of strolls around the cave wall and approaches the crystalline egg. I'm going to roll 2 dice in front of the table. The first is a D4. Okay. And then the second I'm going to roll as Mr. Whiskers just bats at the crystalline egg-like structure. Oh boy. Okay. So you see that the crystalline egg-like structure cracks just sort of spread out from Mr. Whiskers' impact. So it sort of bats at it like it's batting a ball of yarn, and cracks are just breaking up left, right, down, all across this structure. And you sense that something is about to crack open, but not quite yet. So we drop back to the top of the initiative order, and Kurgan's up.
Okay. Kurgan's going to see Bugger it fall and just kind of go, blast it! And draw his sword. Would you be so kind as to let me have drawn my dagger last turn as well?
Yeah, for you, Kurgan, anything.
All right. Then can you move me back up next to the southern drake?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
And I'm
do you want to be standing in front of the dwarf or just to the south?
I think to the south.
Yep.
I'll try and prevent them getting through to our casters. Right. And then I'll start by taking a swing with my short sword at this fumous apparition. With a 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
Then I roll damage, which is only a 5. And then I'm going to swing with my dagger now, because my short sword has the Vex quality. And my dagger is now counted as attacking with advantage.
Nice.
So that's a 10 and a 12. Do either of those hit?
The 12 does. 10 just misses.
Okay, so 12 hits. I get sneak attack because I'm attacking with advantage. So 4 plus... Oh my god. 4 plus 2. 6 damage.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, yeah, this thing's looking rough. You just see dagger cuts through what is something between steam, vapor, and dragon scale. Just gets raked open, and this thing's looking angry and rough.
And then I shout back, "Can someone heal the dwarf?" And that's my turn.
Speaking of the dwarf, I need a death saving throw.
I can do that. Here we go. Come on, baby. Yay!
Almost stood back up.
19. Very impressive. So robust dwarven constitution flows through you, and you feel like you're getting much closer to standing back up, or at least stabilizing. That's all I think you can do. Justin, you're up with Aisling on deck.
Borgrim is the dedicated servant of a unforgiving deity. As such, he does not lend his healing hands to his comrade. Instead, he's going to apply his bonus action to apply 5 points of lay on hands to himself.
Do you try to conceal this, or do you do it openly?
Do it openly. He's going to advance into the gap, and is Fume Drake still alive?
Yes, both are still alive.
Okay. He's going to swing his greatsword at the more injured looking one. I think that'd be Fume Drake A.
Yeah, go for it. With the
and
7,
given
you
he's
will
a
not.
human, he gets this legendary. He does get a reroll once per long rest. I'm going to use that now.
Go for it.
Still a hit?
Still, that does hit. What goes through your mind as you almost miss this Drake, and then something inspires you to carve it apart? What happens? What do we see in Vorgrim's head?
The Lord is watching. I must make sure I do not fail him.
Yeah, roll damage. 9 damage. Oof. Was that on the one at the south or the west? Sorry.
I think the southern one's the more injured looking one, so that's the one I was aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one's looking very rough. It's very, very rough indeed. It's still standing, but it's very rough.
I think that's all for Vorgrim.
Okay. Ashling's up.
Aisling, on the other hand, is a good person. She cares for other people. So she's going to prioritize healing her dwarven companion. She's going to step up and she's going to apply her healing hands for 2d4 damage.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can get the dice to do that. Oh, it doesn't let me stipulate how many. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, that's it. Heal Bugrit for 4 hit points.
Yay.
And I don't think she can do anything with her bonus action, so she's going to step back a little bit so she can't be flame breathed.
Okay.
And she'll say some words of encouragement to Bugrit. Something like, "Let the earth sustain you."
Why,
Very stoic.
thank you, I think. What happened?
Okay. That will be Atreyo. Atreyo, seeing everyone taking action, is going to run up. He's going to get social anxiety about missing out on all the fun. So he's going to run up to the Fume Drake to the west, and he's going to try and make some slashing attacks. He gets a couple of those. Nope. One hits, dealing 4 damage. Okay, 4 damage on the Fume Drake, and that one's looking pretty rough too. That's all the Atreyo can do. He sort of looks around, looks for maybe some approval. His sort of social anxiety flaring a bit, seeing, is he doing okay? Is he still part of the group? And that's his turn, and we go to the Fume Drakes. Okay, I'm going to roll for the breath weapon. This is reasonably important. I will roll in front of the screen. So we're going to roll a d6. On a 6, they get their breath weapon back.
Oh no.
Okay, so a 6 and a 5. So Fume Drake B gets its breath weapon back. Oh, it's going to do it all. So it's going to make a cone attack. It can only get 3 of you. It can't get a trio. So it will roll that. Can I get a DC 11 dexterity saving throw as scalding steam rockets out of this thing's maw? Okay,
You
not
are
a bunch of
kidding me.
That was an ability
So we
save,
had-
but I think it's still a failure.
2 for Bugra, 10 for Vorgrim, and 4 for Kurgan. So
That
let's
should
roll
have been a
some
6,
damage.
but that's alright.
Only 2. So you guys only take 2 damage. So I think that leaves Bugrit still standing. Fume Drake A to the south is going to. It didn't get its breath weapon back. It's going to make It's going to make a bite. Who's going to bite? Who did damage? It's going to bite Kurgan. How much it? took from him does hit. Oh, well, 21 I think hits you.
Yeah.
And does 1d4 plus 2 fire damage. So 6 damage all up.
I am very badly hurt.
That is all the Fume Drakes can do, so that leaves Calliope.
Okay, so I am gonna, I guess, mock the drakes again. So the southernmost one's the one that's looking most damage at this moment, is it?
Yeah. Well, actually, hang on.
Well, both bit of a muchness.
Yeah. Yeah, the southern one's on death's door, essentially.
All right. Oh, just give up already. You're almost done.
4 damage. Okay.
Yeah, so gotta pass a 12 wisdom.
12 wisdom saving throw. Okay. It does not pass. It rolls a 4. So that is going to be the end of Fume Drake A. As it goes down, so you see the intensity of Calliope's mockery is just too much for this thing. It takes the damage as like a psychic blow. As it does that, it explodes in a cloud of noxious fumes. So its scales burst outwards, and this cloud strikes everyone within 5 feet. So that'll be Kurgan, Bagrit, Vorgrim. I need everyone to make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw or take D8 poison damage. If you pass, you take no damage.
Yay.
The Lord favors me.
So, Kurgan is the only one who, ironically, doesn't. Well, it's a Constitution saving throw, so that's not ironic. Kurgan does not pass. He takes 1d8 poison damage, and he takes 7 poison damage as this Fume Drake absolutely carks it.
All right.
Are you still
I would
standing?
be down. Well, I would be down, but I activate Relentless Endurance. Once per long rest, when reduced to 0 HP but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 HP instead, and I do not go down. Despite
Very nice.
grievous
Very nice.
wounds, Kurgan somehow remains standing.
Okay.
He
All right.
desperately
Where
needs
does
to go
that
to the
leave
burn
us?
towards her.
So, Calliope, did you want to do anything else, or move to Lenora?
No, Lenora's turn now. So, Lenora, she'll manage to move her way in a little bit more.
Mhm.
Try to still stay outside of the range of the breath weapons if that happens again. And she will try and toll the dead this set remaining.
Okay. Is that a wisdom saving throw?
It is a wisdom saving throw, and her DC to pass is 13.
Oh, just passes. Anything else?
And she'll hold on to her last spell slot in case for healing word in case someone actually does go down. So she'll hang on to that for now.
All right, excellent. So you see one Fume Drake is down, the other is staggering around sort of on death's door. As that happens, you look to the west and hear a crack. And the orange crystal device shatters. And something comes out. And you see a salamander fire snake emerges from the orange gem. It's elemental looking. It's almost made of fire. It looks out, looks at Mr. Whiskers, who dashes off and is going to move towards you guys, seeing you as basically a snack licking its teeth. It has a move speed of 30 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 6. Can't quite get there. It gets about halfway across the cave, and that's all it can do on its turn. So it's gonna, it's gonna end its turn. So you guys see a salamander fire snake running across the cave to you on all fours. You have one fume drake left. Kurgan, you are up. You are on 1 hit point, I imagine.
I am on 1 hit point. Well, Kurgan's done with that stuff. He is going to. First off, I think he reaches into his cloak and pulls out 3 bits of wood, and he starts screwing them together. Once he's done that, he pulls out a piece of string, and from 2 of the bits of wood, he straps it together, and all of a sudden has some kind of compact short bow, which he will then take a shot at. I think he'll take a shot at the fume drake, at the fume dragon thing.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a 22 to hit.
22 does hit. You are on fire tonight.
Nice.
Well, I'm also about to die, so I think it's fair.
I was
all right,
gonna say,
it's
isn't
next
everyone
to,
on fire? Literally.
taking a total of 6 damage from it being snuck attack, being next to Vorgrim, and then I retreat. I'm going to fall back behind. Who's that in the middle there? Lenora. Nope. I much prefer having people in plate armor between me and any fights.
Okay, easy enough. Bugger it. You're sort of staggering on your feet, but what's going through your mind as you sort of take the hits, go down, stagger back up?
I'm kind of wondering what happened and why did that cat just go and let the snake out? I don't do snakes. Is that cat really on our side? I think I might need to lay some hands on myself in a healing sort of a way. So I might move back 1 square and lay hands on myself for 3 points of damage, 3 points of healing.
3 points of healing. As we see, a cat has joined the chat.
Yes, cats are never on anyone's side. Except their own.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that all you want to do? I think that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. Very good. Vorgrim, you're up. You have a fume drake in front of you. You have a salamander galloping towards you like some sort of scaled horse from a nightmare.
If any of you people in the back row can heal, now would be a good time. And Vorgrim's going to take a swing at the remaining fume drake with his great sword.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that hits. 8 damage. Oof. So you cleave this fume drake in half, and it scatters into steam and scale, and similarly, it does do a death burst. If you could make anyone within 5 feet, which is you and Atreyo, if you could make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw. You fail on a 9, but the fume drake only does 1 damage, so just take 1 damage for me. Atreyo will roll a con. He's not very good at con, but he does okay. Okay. All right, so yeah, that fume drake is gone. So you have sort of cleaved through the front line of these drakes. You give yourself a bit of a second to breathe before this salamander hits you. Is there anything else you want to do, or Aisling?
There are no more things for Vorgrim to do at this stage, but Aisling has things to do. Aisling is she's gonna cast her Speaks with Animals spell. She's
Ooh,
going to try and
interesting.
she's going to try and plead with the salamander. She's going to say, "Noble creature of fire, please, we are your friends. There is no need to fight us. Tell us what
That is
fault
very on
ails you,
point.
and we will assist you."
Yeah, that's on point for Aisling. Make for me a persuasion check, a charisma persuasion check, if you will.
So she's going to be a D20 plus 2. I'm not sure how to put the plus 2 modifier in the D20 rolls.
That's all right. Just roll a d20. We'll map it out. We're pretty smart characters here on Doctors and Dragons.
Speak for yourself.
So it's 12 plus 2, that's a score of 14.
12 plus 2, 14. Yeah, the salamander sort of looks at Aisling and sort of clacks its jaws and just eyes everyone in the room off as if you're a snack. Like it's hungry. This thing has come from somewhere. You can have a think about that with a check if you want later, but this thing is just ravenous and ready to eat. Good try. So that leaves us with Betrayo. Why not? He's going to dive in. He's going to make a couple of attacks. First one does not hit. Second one hits. Very nice. Does 6 damage. So Atreyo sort of leaps forward, drives his dagger into the scales of the dragon-like creature. As he does so, nothing happens yet. That is Calliope.
Yeah. So I'll move forward a little bit so I can see it a bit better.
Mhm.
And start trying to mock this salamander thing. So, doing your little baby fresh out of your egg. Why you got no chance of taking us on?
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Who hurt Calliope? That's what I want to know. That's the thing we'll have to uncover this
Well,
campaign.
my other attack's a firebolt, and I don't think that's going to do too much against a fire.
Salamander makes an 11 for the save.
Alright, so it fails and takes 6 psychic damage.
6 psychic damage. Ouch.
Ah.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, it's looking a bit rough. All right. Anything else, or we'll move on to...
That would be it for Calliope. So, Lenora, however, will she'll move up and to take a bit more of the lead and trying to, because Bugred is looking too crash hot right now. And she will try and cast Toll the Dead on the salamander.
Mm-hmm.
And
So Toll the Dead on the salamander. I've got to make a wisdom saving throw. Wisdom 14 saves, I believe.
that does save.
Yep. Okay. So the salamander's being cussed and cursed from multiple directions, and it's still just primarily hungry, so it's pretty focused on Atreya.
And she'll you'll use her bonus action to healing word Bugret, going, "Come on, get yourself back in the game." And that heals him for 6.
Thank you.
Very kind.
I'm feeling very recharged after that.
Alrighty. That is the salamander's turn. Anyone who starts within 5 foot of it takes d6 fire damage. So Atreya takes 4 damage. Don't know why I rolled twice. And then what's it going to do? It's going to attack Atreya. It's operating on raw hunger at this point. So it's going to make a melee attack roll. 11. War. Just misses. Atreya's not looking great.
Oh, he's a silly
Right,
bugger who got
everyone's
me
still-
into melee with a fire snake, so...
But yeah, everyone's still standing. So we're back to the top, and you can see the salamander's looking a little rough. Atreya's looking pretty rough. Up to you guys how you want to proceed.
I think I'm going to move to within 30 feet of the fire drake, so that I can benefit from sneak attack. And then I'll take a shot
go
with my short bow. And I'm going to say,
Yeah, I'll move you up.
and that's a 20. So that's
Oh, yeah,
a
that hits.
crit, which I don't think this game's going to include the sneak attack, but that also gets doubled. So, from the bow, from the first sneak attack dice and the second sneak attack dice. So that is a total of 14 damage.
It is on death's door. You can see it's just like hanging on by a single thread, but that really just wrecked it.
And I'm just going to shout, why does everything here smell so bad? And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Bugger it. What do you want to do?
Is a charge, like, that's double movement, isn't it? So
I believe that's correct.
I reckon you can get there if you've got 30 feet. It's sort of non-Euclidean is the traditional D&D book. If you want to get up there, you'd almost be in range. If you want to make it maybe an athletics check for me, I'd let you get right up next to it. Yeah, easy done. Easy done. With a 23 on athletics, you sort of surge into action.
okay, yeah. I will charge this thing and have at it with my battle axe. And I doubt that's going to hit.
9 will miss, unfortunately.
Looked good. And yeah, that's it. That's all.
Okay. Vorgrim, you see this thing standing on death's door. Do you want to get up in there?
Vorgrim knows what he needs to do. He's going to charge up there, greatsword bared, and take a slash.
Go for it. Yep, 20 hits.
Please don't explode.
Yep. So, do you want to describe for me what happens as you destroy this fire snake?
Vorgrim stood in the background, a calculating look across his eyes as he watched everybody else run forward to engage this. Just at the moment of its falling, he ran in to steal the glory, striking from the flank and carving into its innards with his greatsword. Another claimed for the Lord.
Okay. And with that, we are going to end initiative. And you guys can do whatever you wish.
Did those myconids know that this was just down in the other room this whole time? Did they not even, look after their own cave system?
I mean,
Why didn't they
my-
throw the contaminated myconids in here? They could have been sterilized by those fume drakes.
They are myconids. They live in darkness and feed on animal products.
This is probably
Kept
their
in the
waste
dark
disposal
and-
system.
kept in the dark and fed nothing but
Harper's.
Family stream.
I want to go back to the myconids and ask, what did they know about this room?
Yeah, while you do that, I'm gonna go check out that wonderful corpse over there with entirely unsearched pockets.
you
So
need a
do you
couple
want
of
to,
points of healing, Wargren.
No, but I would love some. Vorgrim doesn't need it. He's fine. He's big, tough. He's wearing plate armor.
I will
Okay,
do without
so-
in this case.
Who needs
so-
some? I've got 2 points to give away.
Kurgan holds his hands up at his 1 hit point.
Okay. So you can have 2 hit points. I will lay my hands upon you in the name of the righteous Father.
There's a subtle hiss
Kurgan's
from
grievous
Vorgrim.
wounds and Kurgan's grievous wounds are no longer quite so grievous. And
All right. And
then at that point, I think
Kurgan, are you sort of getting in there and like really poking around, or are you just having a quick glance over it and giving yourself a bit of, a little bit of space or distance?
he is going to search that body very thoroughly.
Okay. Give me a investigation check. $21.
21's
Very
pretty
good. So, with the 21, is anyone else up there, or is it just Kurgan in the mix, so to speak?
Vorgrim was foolish enough to walk nearby this deceased body without pondering the cause of death.
Okay, so what you get for a 21, you see that there is a dried out body that is lying sprawled against a cave wall. It's sort of been preserved by the dry, salty air that would sometimes waft through here, despite the fact that this is currently a very dank, wet, fume-filled cavern. So you're not sure how it got dried out initially. What was once a human form is now very skeletal. It seems to have been there for years. There are tattered remnants of what might have been fine clothing. And beside one bony hand rests a weathered harp case, and its wood is very warped and cracked from exposure to the elements. Clutched in the other hand is a leather-bound journal. Its pages are stiff and discolored by sea spray and time. The journal's cover bears an emblem. It's faded, but with the 21, you pick up that this is a crescent moon and harp intertwined, and you know that is a symbol of the Harpers. Several pages appear to be missing or weathered or torn out. You're not entirely sure. And you pick up the journal, and with a 21, you're able to see that this is written in some sort of elaborate cipher. So most of the journal is in a code, and you're not entirely sure how to interpret it. The final entry, which is dated several years ago, is partially legible, where they seem to have reverted to common script in perhaps in panic or in desperation or in need of speed. What you can see, and this is an incomplete section, is the following. This marks the second week on Stormwreck Isle. No sign of Agent Zither, though I found his pack torn apart by the North Cliffs. I fear I may be the second Harper to meet a twisted end on this forsaken isle. What does Mary Sue care so much about here that warrants sending us to our deaths? I fear I shall never know. The etchings I found in the sea cave, they can't be natural. They speak to me somehow. Runes carved by some mad scholar. The name scrawled over and over underneath the symbols is... I've never encountered it in all my studies, but the pattern, it speaks to me of destruction and rebirth. And as I close my eyes, the runes whisper to me. And it cuts off there, almost jaggedly, as if it was caught mid-sentence. As that happens, you're aware of the fact that the wall in front of you is covered with runes. I'll put up a picture of that in a sec. But that's what you get from a 21 from the body. And if you want, you can keep that to yourself. You can keep the journal to yourself, or you can share that with the group. I'm going to put up an image, and you are free to obviously investigate the runes on the wall, the other area where the orange crystal was, or the purple crystal to the north.
Kurgan is going to read that and then stand up and go, ho, ho, ho. Volgrim, Lenora, you're going to love this. And he starts reading out that passage verbatim. And then he, when he gets to the Harper bit, he starts, waggling his eyes at Volgrim, being like, Harpers? Hey?
I told you so.
Don't know what happened there. Sorry. Take issue.
You just wanted to be the center of attention.
All right. He's then gonna look at this and then have a look at whatever the hell this is on the wall.
Yeah, no worries. Make me a separate investigation check as you sort of trace out the runes and the pattern, and you can see, plain as day beneath it, the words Kadasix Reb, which you think might have been the name of the scholar who traced this. Anyone else who wants to give him the help action is free to do so as you look at these runes scrawled across the wall.
I got a 16 base. If someone helps me, then I can roll again.
Ooh, 20 from Bugrit. Okay. So with that, easy enough. You see the cave wall stretched before you. There's unnaturally smooth stone as if it's been polished by something other than natural weathering and erosion. There are countless runes here. The image, it seems simple initially, but as you peer, each image breaks down into smaller cyclical glyphs and runes that then break themselves into tiny, almost imperceptible glyphs and runes. And you feel this is almost a fractal pattern that would repeat ad nauseum down to a microscopic level. At the center is a circle from which 8 pathways spiral outward in concentric rings. They seem to depict different scenes of devastation, tidal waves, burning landscapes, shattered mountains, but they also contain distinctly circular nodes and 5 pointed shapes, pentagon shapes. You see the name Kadasix Reb. It's written beneath the pattern, but it's also scrawled in tiny, frantic, deep strokes in amongst the runes and sigils. You almost feel like, and this is what Bugrit gets for a 20, he almost feels like he's seen alchemical notations for acid. As a dwarf, you'd be familiar with working with acid and mining tools. You can almost see something about acid in one of the runes. There are rings, chains, 5-pointed shapes. It's very intense. Finally, towards the edge, you see a series of lightning bolts, and you're uncertain of their significance. There's one set of words that you get with that roll down beneath at the lower end of it, and it just says, the cycle remains unbroken, and what sleeps beneath the waves. With that roll, you get the sense that this, despite its complexity, is perhaps one part of a much bigger fractal or pattern, and the runes would continue off if there had been more room on the cave wall or more time.
I will tell everyone, this is obviously dwarven work. It's very fine, but it's a fractal pattern. I'm sure of that. And it seems to go on ad nauseum. And down the bottom here, it says, what did it say down the bottom?
So it says, there's Kadasix Reb, which you think might be the name of the mad scholar. There's also the cycle remains unbroken and what sleeps beneath the waves in sort of discrete sections.
Okay. And I get the strange feeling that this text and these patterns would continue on if there was room for it to do so. Very strange. Very fine.
Does it maybe actually continue on if we dust away the floor beneath it? Is it does it go further than what we can see?
Using those previous checks, you can't see any further. You get the sense that perhaps they ran out of steam or they got distracted by something. You can see the scrawling gets more erratic towards the outer edge. So nothing else.
Okay. Certainly interesting. I wonder what
There's
the
something
test
about
is.
acid here,
Acid.
which might be relevant given all the mushroom action.
Is there still any acid around from those Mafeet from those drakes we just fought a moment ago?
No acid. You don't see any acid. You do see over near the orange crystalline structure that as it's sort of shattered, light is starting to pool into the cave. So you can see that where that orange structure had grown, light is now peeking through, and you think that maybe this was actually a vent to the outside that has become unblocked due to the egg shattering.
Is that that spot just here?
Yep, over to the west. Yep.
Is the air quality improving noticeably now that the ventilation's been returned?
Yeah, funny you should mention that. With the ventilation returned, even without a roll, you can see that the vapor is starting to dissipate and exit through the vent. And you can see that it's tracking from the purple crystal area towards the orange area with a bit of airflow now. And you can see that actually this cave is coming into sharper relief. And you get the sense that maybe the orange crystal had blocked it off.
So what exactly are these purple crystal things? They look interesting.
Yeah, do you want to go over and have a poke around with them?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me an investigation check or a perception if you want to keep your distance.
I'll go investigation. But I'll roll rubbish.
Okay. Yeah, they're purple crystals. I mean, they're quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Is this vapor stinky?
But you can see that vapor that's been permeating through the cave is coming from the purple crystals, even with that. Or it's coming from somewhere behind the purple crystals, as if it's wafting up from lower.
I think Kurgan starts trying to take some time and decipher this journal.
Yeah,
and while
sure.
he's
Go for it.
looking at the journal, we should probably make camp somewhere away from these fumes.
Yeah, you guys can absolutely do that if you want. You're free to
Doing that.
retreat back to the cabin you were in before. Do you want to collect anything from this cabin before you go?
I was going to say, can I borrow a hammer off someone and try and take like a sample of these purple crystal things?
Yeah,
Try and
easy
break a
enough.
bit
You
off.
guys have time. There's no hurry. You could do that. It's just a question of how long. You also see that there's still some orange crystalline fragments from the from the egg that shattered. You see Mr. Whiskers is playing with one of them. They look quite shiny.
We will take them too. Bundle
sure.
them into a pocket or a sack or something. Who knows, maybe they're valuable. Maybe they'll tell us something about what's going on this stupid isle.
Potentially. And I still do want to ask these myconids if they knew anything about this part of the cave system. It seems strange.
Well,
It was like
we're gonna
right
head
next
out.
to them.
Yeah, you guys can.
We'll head
to
out and
the,
ask them on the way.
Yeah, no worries. So you guys all go back towards the group of adults that you saw before. Professor Fun Guy is there, and do you guys, what do you tell him?
Are you aware of the drakes and fire snakes and all the bullshit just like right next door to you?
I wasn't aware of any drakes, apart from the dragons who review my journal articles. I'll tell you what, I've had some issues with them. But drakes, no, goodness no. I can see that the fume cabin's actually looking a lot better. Did you guys clear something out over there?
Well, yes,
Yes.
kind of.
We don't like going in there normally because there's quite a bit of bright light, and we're sort of dark people, We're fond of raves, fond of, camping, but not big fans of light. So we usually don't go in there. Honestly, we don't interact with it much.
Right. There was some kind of obstruction in the exit passage. Looked almost like an egg, and then it hatched.
And then fire snake, salamander-y thing.
Goodness, well, I mean, I'm an academic, but I have read in my books that there's all sorts of elemental planes where sort of fire beasts might come from, the elemental plane of fire being the foremost of them, of course. And I do wonder if that's what you encountered.
Did
So
you
do
know
you
there
think
was a
the
dead
egg just
body in there?
spontaneously appeared, or do you think there's like a big mama snake who laid the egg there?
Well, both of your questions are quite interesting. I would say these things don't tend to appear unless there's something attracting them, you see. So the fire calls to the fire, if you will. You know, opposites attract is not really a rule when it comes to these things. So there's got to be something fiery on the island, sort of bringing in an egg of a fire elemental. So it feels like there's something that's drawn it in, if you will. What did you say, stout dwarf gentleman?
I was just saying, did you realize that there was a dead body in there?
Goodness, no. I mean, we're mushrooms. We're not savages. I know the mushroom kind are known for growing on pretty much anything. We sort of break down refuse, but no, we would have moved a body. We just don't go in that cavern much, to be honest.
Have
Did you do anything with the body?
No, not yet. Do you
our
recall
problem?
ever having a Harper come through?
Oh, yes, actually, there was a chap. He was very nice. He called himself Liar, and he came through. He was sort of studying the caves. He was sort of looking for evidence of some scholar's writing. He was tracking a scholar, and we sort of point him in that direction because another chap, a very scattered guy, but nice enough, brought some rations. He came through many years back, and he sort of did some scrawlings on the wall. We covered over most of them and sort of wiped them out, but I imagine he might have left some in that cabin. I thought he just left without saying goodbye, though.
So is there a way out through that cavern?
I mean, I don't think so. We don't go out that way. There's probably some ventilation. You could go out the way you came. To the north of you, there's a chamber where our elder has been sort of recuperating, Elder Sinensa, and I can see these vapors are sort of clearing up a bit. I imagine that's your work, and I hope she'll actually recover quite nicely. She'll probably be very grateful for you guys clearing up these vapors. She's been quite unwell. Ghastly stuff.
You mentioned some
covering
other...
up.
Take it. That's what I was going to ask about. So go.
You mentioned covering up some more of these carvings and pictures. Do you have copies of what the old ones looked like?
The old ones. You know what? I'll go into my drawings and see if I can find something. It'll take some time. The library's not very organized, but I could probably send it back to you at Dragon's Rest over at Runara's place if you want. It'll take me a few days.
Yes, please.
I mean, I could probably help you copy out the pictures. I'm a bit not bad dab hand with a quill.
Yes, if you want to help, you certainly all welcome to rest here tonight if you wish, and we'll dig through the library and then we'll send you on your way in the morning. That's fine. You can have a chat with Elder Sinensa. She might have recovered by the morning, so if you guys want to camp here, we're certainly all fun guys. And you see everyone just sort of chuckles. Like the myconid still quite enjoy this joke, despite it being very old.
It doesn't look like there's mushroom in here for us to camp.
So you guys are free. You can camp here out with the mushroom folk. You can go have a chat with the elder. You can head straight back to Dragon's Rest. The adventure is yours.
Considering
Well,
the
I'd very
state of
much like
some
to
of
talk
our
to you.
fellow adventurers, I think having a bit of a rest here would probably be a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, we can have a bit of a nightcap, and I touch one of the mushrooms' tops.
And while
Easy
we're
enough to do.
here, we can have a look at their library.
Easy enough to do. So you guys set up a basic camp. You know, the mushroom folk share around some rations. They don't have much, but just the stuff you brought along with what they grow mushroom-wise. You guys all sort of set up to go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, does anyone do anything?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a look at what they consider their library and looking through their books.
Yeah, Professor Fun Guy says, "Oh, we'll look at it in the morning. I'm getting a bit old in the ears," and he's out like a light.
I don't mind a little nighttime reading to fall asleep to.
Okay. He sends one of the mushroom sprouts to run over to his library, and he brings you back like a stack of papers, and you can sort of start sorting through that if you want. Does anyone else go to sleep, or you're all sort of settling down
Should
for the night?
appoint a watch. Atreyo, perhaps you can be first watch.
Yeah. Atreya is very happy to be first watch.
It shouldn't be too much more.
I'm just going to...
Would be attacking us in here, surely. We're surrounded by all these lovely fungi.
Well, they don't seem to have much control of what's living in their caves, so very possible that we get attacked. So far, they've had sturges, dragons, and a snake thing with legs. Also, there was the octopus at the entrance. So,
You do have a fair
wild.
point there.
I'm going to spend
easy enough.
my night before going to sleep just trying to decipher this code in the journal. I start by
Yeah, no
looking
worries.
for the most
what I'll give you-
common... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, each night you study it, you can roll a d20 for me, and I'll give you the threshold to get further information out of it. Yeah, and that's sort of how we'll progress the cipher. With that, are you guys all happy to go to sleep? And
Yep. I'll make that
as
20 roll.
as you all go to sleep, you see Atreyo sets up on, watch duty. Mr. Whiskers posts up with him, and they're sort of like trading back and forth rations. As that happens, each of you drift into a light slumber, and each of you start to see behind the back of your eyes that pattern scrawled on the cave wall, and you see it's spinning in a cycle, and you hear the word destruction over and over. And each of you start to experience a vision from your past. And that's where we're going to end today.
Of course.
And next week, you guys are all going to flash back briefly to a key moment in your past where you experienced significant destruction.
Okay.
Happy
Do you want us to write
memories
something and send it to you beforehand, or...
Yeah, if you guys want to send me any ideas, otherwise we'll just do it on the fly. I've got some thoughts for a few of you, but just send me a rough direction where you want to take it. I also was wearing this the entire podcast.
Oh, nice.
And I think as you guys do that, also keep in mind that you have leveled up and you will be level 2 as of next session.
Yay!
Woohoo.
Gather round adventurers, it's time for a quest. Stories of magic and dragons at rest. Our dice are ready, let's roll with zest. Welcome to our table, you're our honored guest.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Roll for Initiative, a real play D&D podcast. Today we are
Heroes and
So it's essentially cards. I'm using my wild shape to cast Find.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Monsters and Menace, a real play Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Last defeating the beast, they were able to escape with the deft use of the feather falling spell. They look
maps unfolding secrets unveiled. an epic tale. Wands at the ready, swords in hand. In a realm of wonders you'll understand. Welcome to our table where legends are born. Heroes and villains in worlds reborn. Join our journey with a cheerful heart. Together we conquer, together we start. With laughter and friendship, our bonds grow tight. Underneath starry skies or candlelight.